Bluey is a series where time passes and the characters grow older, but some people don't even notice that. Do you already know the entire timeline of the Healer family? Bandit as a kid. There have been 3 seasons of Bluey so far, but the show keeps switching between the past and the future. We only got to see Mr. Healer's childhood, for example, during the 3rd era of the show in the episode Fairy Tale, when he talks about what his life was like back in the 1980s. Bandit was a slightly mean and messy little boy who loved picking on his younger brother Stripe. He loved riding his bike and going to the beach with his brothers, but he still had a lot to learn. That's interesting because in that episode, we saw a little bit of the Bandit everyone knows today. But don't be fooled, he starts becoming a better person after learning an important lesson. He realizes how important it is to take care of younger kids, and of course, he ends up owing a debt to a girl he met during vacation. She was so pretty that he probably kept thinking about her for years, but we'll talk more about that girl later on. For now, all you can do is enjoy the ride.
The moment has come! Let's enjoy another Cinewave together.
Chili as a kid. A few years before Bandit and Chili's first meeting in the episode Fairy Tale, we learned a little about Mrs. Healer's childhood. Back then, her name was Chili Cattle. Bluey and Bingo's mom had a difficult childhood. Her father was a soldier, which means he didn't spend much time at home, and her mother, Mrs. Cattle, was sick. We know this because of the episode Dragon, where we learned that she had already passed away and that it was probably cancer that took her life. In the season 2 episode Granddad, we see that Chili grew up near a swamp and learned how to swim in a lake and survive in the wilderness. Her father taught her all of those things, and that's important because it was during that time that Chili learned how to become a strong woman, something she would later pass on to her daughters. Now you understand why in the episode Fairy Tale, she was dressed as She-Ra, the Princess of Power, instead of wearing a cute girly costume. London. Chili and Bandit spent several years without seeing each other again, and probably dated other people. We know this because in the episode The Sign, Mrs. Healer says that she and Frisky liked going to the city overlook to think, but that's obviously not true. Teenagers go to overlooks because they want to have fun and fall in love, but all of that changed when she met Bandit during a trip to London. At that point, she didn't remember that she had already met him before, but in the season 2 episode The Show, when the girls are putting on a play about their parents, we discover that Bandit competed against another guy for Chili's attention, and Mr. Healer won. There are 2 more important details about that time. The first is that Chili really loved playing field hockey, and the second is that she loved dancing. Her meeting with Bandit happened at a party, and you can see the hockey trophies in the family's garage in the episode Bob Bilby. First child. Still in the episode The Show, we learned something really sad about the beginning of Chili and Bandit's relationship. They almost had their first child, but sadly Chili lost the baby while she was still pregnant. At first, some people don't notice that detail, but when Bingo is pretending to be her mom and has a blue balloon on her belly, the girls think it's supposed to represent Bluey's pregnancy, but it actually doesn't. Chili was going to have a baby boy who was never born. The moment when the balloon pops confirms it, and the creator of the series himself, Joe Brum, confirmed it too. Bluey. Bluey was only born after all of that, and even then, we're still talking about a time before the series had even started. We only have memories from that period. In the season 3 episode Bedroom, we see Chili organizing the place where Bluey and Bingo first slept. You can even see the crib they used. And in the episode Baby Race, we learn a little more about the protagonist's early childhood. Bluey took a while to learn how to walk. In fact, she was the last one among her friends. In that story, we discover that Bluey already knew Coco, Snickers, and Judo since they were babies, meaning they were her very first friends. Bluey learned how to walk in the kitchen because she wanted to hug Chili. Would you like to be Bluey's childhood friend? Comment the hashtag Bluey so we can get to know each other. Bingo. 2 years later, Bingo was born, Bluey's loyal partner in every adventure. There isn't a lot of information about Bingo's early years, but one thing we know very well is that she spent a lot of time with Bandit. Mr. Healer used a baby carrier vest to take care of Bingo while Chili paid attention to Bluey. We learned that in an episode that was removed from Disney Plus called Daddy Baby. First school. Did you know that Bluey's first school was Miss Retriever's school and not Calypso's school? Bluey says in the episode Bob Bilby that she had already taken the mascot home a long time ago. That means Bluey was already Miss Retriever's student before moving to Calypso's class, which is where season 1 of the series begins. Beginning. It's only after everything we've told you so far that the story of the series truly begins in the very first episode, Magic Xylophone, where we meet Bluey, Bingo, and their parents. Chili Chili works at the airport and doesn't like her boss, while Bandit works from home and takes care of the kids. He's an archaeologist and, at the same time, the best dad in the world. Throughout Season 1, we watched more than 50 stories about the adventures of the healer pups, but some of them are the most important. Copycat, where Bluey learns how to deal with grief after the death of a little bird. Creek, where Bluey learns how to face fear in order to go on a big adventure and grow up. And also the episode Fruit Bat, where she dreams about the things she wants. And the interesting part is that in this episode, she dreams about Mackenzie. Many fans believe this is the beginning of her feelings for the Border Collie, but at the same time, it was also during this period that Bluey met Jean-Luc and never forgot about him. Season 2. The series became a huge success during Season 1 in 2018, so it wasn't a surprise when 2 years later Season 2 arrived with new episodes and several revelations. In the episode Bingo, we learn a little more about the protagonist's sister, her love for nature, how she grew up learning how to be alone, and especially her fascination with bugs. One of the most important episodes in the entire series is also centered around Bingo. In Sleepy Time, she dreams about her family while traveling through space and realizing that it's time to grow up. Season 2 of Bluey focuses heavily on Bingo, but also on the past and future of the healer family. It's during this season that we learn about Chili's lost child and how Bluey's feelings for Mackenzie continue to grow. Love. In Barky Boats, we meet Mia and Captain, two older puppies the series uses to explain Bluey's future with Mackenzie. The biggest clue is that Winton even says that the protagonist and the Border Collie are going to get married. Calypso explains to the two of them that being the same age as Mia and Captain is difficult because feelings that were once asleep start waking up until they finally explode and transform. She was talking about love, and in this case, Bluey and Mackenzie have everything going for them to end up together. You know what would be awesome? Subscribing right now and getting all our videos straight on YouTube, couple. Still talking about that, Season 2 introduced the beginning of another romance, this time more mature and much stronger. Of course, we're talking about two adults, Frisky and Bandit's older brother, Uncle Radley. This episode shows the beginning of the future of the healer family because those two characters are going to get married in Season 3 and will probably have children in the upcoming 4th era of the series. Wedding. The longest episode in the entire series and one of the most special is the story of the sign. In this episode, Frisky and Bluey's uncle almost called off the wedding because Bluey's godmother got angry at the groom. They forgive each other and everything turns out fine, but besides that, several other important stories are also happening. Chili's older sister appears pregnant, and we know this was her biggest dream, meaning Bluey and Bingo are going to get another cousin, and everyone is betting it's going to be a boy. Besides that, Bandit, who was originally going to sell the house, decided not to because he realized leaving would be the biggest mistake of his life. Bandit had gotten a better job as an archaeologist, but it would have been in another city. Their friends and family would have been left behind, but nobody wanted that to happen, not even Bandit himself since he changed his mind. We also discovered that Grandpa Bob, Mr. Healer's father, was alive since he had disappeared. He was in India. That's why this episode is over 30 minutes long, because it resolves several storylines from the series, but it still wasn't the ending. Surprise! The final episode of Bluey, which is also episode 50 of Season 3, is definitely one of the most special and reveals a lot about the future of the Healer family. It starts with the girls wanting to play different games with Dad. Bluey wanted to surprise Bandit by chasing him with a toy ball blaster. Meanwhile, Bingo wanted to pretend she had several children. And this is important because both girls show interest in becoming mothers in this episode, but Bluey is the one who appears years later as an adult with a daughter. Bluey's daughter still doesn't have an official name, but here on the channel we call her Roxy. She looks like she's around 3 years old during the events of Surprise, and from everything we've seen, she can only be the daughter of either Jean-Luc or Mackenzie. We've already made our preference for the Border Collie very clear, but remember that this still hasn't been officially confirmed by the series. Maybe the answer will come in the Bluey movie. Ludo Studio, the official production company behind Bluey, announced that it is producing a Bluey movie set to release in 2027. This is super important because it seems like the movie will come out before the new episodes. That makes us think the film could serve as a goodbye to Bluey's childhood, since the last time we saw her, she appeared as an adult. Everyone wants to know more about Roxy, and what could be better than the creation of a brand new series? If you really think about it, that idea is genius. Bluey's daughter would become the new protagonist, while Bluey herself would take on Bandit's role as the best mom in the world. Whether this is truly the future or not hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's definitely something that would make everyone happy, and you'll discover even more if you keep following us here on the channel.
We've prepared 2 videos you're going to love. Pick one and keep having fun here with Teen Videos.